Brenda Perryman. I'm sitting in for Richard Harrison, and I'm wishing Richard well. Hurry and get back so I don't have to wake up so early. No, I'm just kidding. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. And I have a special guest here with me this morning. If you want to call in, you could call in at 313-868-0342, 868-0351, and 868-4336. I have a talented gentleman, Mr. Robert MacArthur, here. Good morning.
Good morning. Good
How
morning.
are you?
I'm fine.
That's great. That's great. I've been listening to his CD, and he has some special things coming up, and we're going to talk about it. And Robert, maybe I could ask you a few things before we show a video,
Sure,
okay?
sure.
Um, are you from Detroit? Are you?
Yes, I was born in Detroit. Come up with a musical background. Father was a musician. He did a lot of Motown stuff, and I did get into the Motown thing because I was like a jazzy. So a lot of times I didn't. I'd follow him around, but I didn't do the Marvin and all that. I was always enticed by jazz.
I was enticed by Marvin. But no,
Uh,
anyway. In fact, we were talking about him last night. We had some conversations about him and Stevie and all with some of my former students that I actually turned on to Motown
oh, okay.
years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and they can't give it up. Of course, they were musicians too, and they played jazz. And
Okay.
jazz is so rooted here in Detroit.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I the jazz thing with Teddy Harris. I grew up with
Teddy,
Teddy,
oh my goodness,
Marcus
Marcus.
Belgraves. Those were the people my dad knew, and they knew my dad, and I would do some gigs with him. When I was fortunate enough to do it. I think a lot of times my mother made him take me on gigs.
What was your father's name?
Louis Barnett.
Oh,
He
okay.
used to play. I tell you what, he used to play with the Flame Show Bar.
Wow.
And that goes back.
It goes back. It goes back way before me, and I'm sure before you. But Teddy Harris, well, he lived right here in Highland
Right,
Park,
right,
right on John R.
right.
And I taught their daughters, he and Martha's daughters, acting and all that
Oh wow,
kind of stuff.
wow.
And Marcus was a good friend too.
Yeah,
God,
Marcus was.
God rest both their souls,
Yes.
And I'd like my audience to see some of the video, a video from one of your performances. So as soon as fella could get that up there, we can look at that, and then we can come back and we can talk about it.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds
There
great.
you go. All right.
My heart is sad and lonely for you. I sigh for you, dear only. Why haven't you seen it? I'm all for you, body and soul. I spend my days in longing and wondering why it's me you're wronging. Why can't you believe it, pretty baby? I'm all for you, body and soul. I can't believe it. It's hard to conceive that you turn away romance. Now
Yes, that was at the Steinway Piano Gallery. I love that place.
Yes,
Um,
wonderful.
we have a call. I don't know. Good morning. Hello. Good morning.
Yes, I just wanted to call in and just kind of tell a little about the Jazz in Paradise and how we partnered with Best for Vets.
Oh, okay, okay. We're if you speak a little louder, we can hear. I can hear you better over the speakers here. And is this?
Okay, great. Can you hear me now?
Oh yes. Who am I speaking with?
Robert Jamerson. So I host
Oh,
the
this
Jazz in Paradise
That's my
event.
son.
your
Yeah.
son. Oh, okay. And you host this, right?
Yes, yes, yes. I put it on 5 years ago in honor of my dad and all the jazz musicians across the wonderful state of Michigan.
Well, for those people who didn't hear the beginning, this is Robert Jamerson. He's on the line, and he gives this concert that we're going to be talking about in Jazz in Paradise, and it's this Saturday at over in Farmington Hills. Why don't you tell me what made you decide to give this concert?
Yeah, well, what made me decide to do it was my dad has been a jazz singer, and my family's background has been involved in jazz. And when I purchased this beautiful home, I thought nothing better than hosting an event in my dad's honor, but also giving some of the wonderful jazz artists in Detroit a platform to be able to perform. What I consider it is just a large family reunion, bringing people together that just enjoy and love the music, but just beautiful people coming together and enjoying themselves.
Now, are you a musician?
I happen to have tried the trumpet and it hurt my cheeks. So no, I'm a jazz lover from afar.
Oh, okay. A lot of us sit on the sidelines and we enjoy it, you know.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes. So that's this Saturday at 30394 Glenmuir Street. I'm sorry, 30394 Glenmuir in Farmington Hills. And it's 6 to 10, $25 in advance, 30 at the door. And you got barbecue, Uncle BB's barbecue. Who's Uncle BB? He's selling barbecue dinners there. Who's Uncle BB, Robert?
Uh, Uncle BB is. I met him up in Idlewild. We were doing a musical festival up there, and loved the people, loved the food, and we partnered once we got back into the city. And I gave him an opportunity to partner with us and share his wonderful barbecue.
Oh, wow. So is he located here?
Yeah, they have a location off of McNichols. I don't have the address
Oh,
offhand,
okay.
but it's off of the McNichols
I
area.
just hadn't heard of him. Beverages provided. It's outside, and you have the great Ramona Collins also performing,
Yes, yes. Wonderful talent, wonderful talent.
and Linda Yon from WEMU. She's the music
Yes, yes,
director
yes.
at my old school, Eastern Michigan.
Okay.
And for those jazz lovers, Dwight Adams is on trumpet. Miriam Hayden, who lives right here in Highland Park, she's
Yeah.
on bass. She's part of Straight Ahead. The great Sean Dobbins is on drums. Vincent Bowens is on sax, and Bill Meyer, he can play that piano. He's on
Yes, he can.
piano,
Yes, he can.
right? So this is exciting. So this is your fifth one.
Yeah, this is the fifth one. It's one of Detroit's great secrets. Where I think the jazz lovers all find where the opportunities present. Yes, this is the fifth one. We've tried to do something different each time, but it's been just a great gathering. Rain or shine, we are covered, so we have very nice covered tents that create an atmosphere where you're enjoying music, whether it's sunshine or a little sprinkle.
Oh wow, this it sounds very very exciting. Let me get a little more info on your dad. I want to hear him I want to ask him some questions, and I'm so happy that you do this. This is really, really great. I
We
mean,
have
You are speaking to my dad, who can fill you in on the artist that he is, and I'm just proud to be a son. I think Father Days wasn't too far apart, and I have a great role model and image to look up to. So I have to
yeah.
take off, but I just wanted to say one thing about Best for Vets. Just saying,
Oh,
Best for
yes.
Vets with Teron Bachelor is just a platform for veterans. He's a veteran, goes out and has looked for opportunities to be able to find veteran services and help them with other challenges that they may face. He's a nonprofit organization. This will be 1 year celebration for him, and so we partnered with him. But I have to take off, but just wanted to say thank you, and looking forward to hearing the rest while I'm driving towards work.
Okay, okay, you can do it. In fact, download our app, WHPR app on your smartphone. You could get it
Absolutely,
in your car. You could
absolutely.
get it in your car. Okay, then thank you, Robert. Hope to see you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Well, you must be mighty proud.
Oh, I'm very proud, very proud.
Well,
Uh,
Robert, you have an album or CD. We call them CDs, I guess. Stranger in Town.
yes,
What
yes.
does that mean? I,
Oh,
I mean, it's from a song,
a
but
lot
why
of
did
times
you choose that?
I've been like under the radar, you can say.
Uh huh.
I don't hang with cliques or anything
Right.
like that. And it's funny, my background has been like one of my buddies is Ron Milner, and
Wait, you're not going to believe this. Last night, I talked about Ron Milner a
wow,
lot
wow,
because, well, I know Ron, but prior to him passing away, he called me at school because I taught, and
mm-hmm,
he wanted me to look over this play that he had, and we would meet and talk about the play,
wow.
and he drew the floor plans and everything. I did not know he was sick.
No, well, nobody knew. I would call him, and we'd have our regular conversation, and he would sometimes say, "And I'm not sick either," because other people around him, I guess, would question him and everything. But he was a private guy,
Yeah, yeah.
and he was actually responsible for me coming out to sing because I never had a I had a platform with my dad, but it was always
Through your dad.
yes, But with Ron, I auditioned for his play, and when I got in his play,
Which play?
it was Seasons Reasons,
Okay.
and we had a good run. We used to get standing ovation. It was like an a cappella musical,
Uh huh.
and I used to lead in everybody, on
Yes.
the stage, and it
Yes.
was beautiful experience.
Oh, wow. That's
Beautiful.
great. Wow. I mean, everybody you're mentioning, I talked about last night. It was just a great evening talking about theater and talking about music and all of
Wow,
that.
wow.
Yeah. Wow. And that really, I can't believe it. But so Ron was an influence on you because he got you on the stage.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right. I always wondered why haven't I done this before? Because it's actually beautiful.
Well, the older you get, you start peeling off layers and saying, I could do this. I could do this more. I can do it
Exactly.
independently. I can,
Right.
but sometimes it's all in God's season,
Right.
it's
Right.
all in His
It
time.
is. That's right.
It is in His time.
I
And
agree.
I mean, I've grown accustomed to your face. Like I say, I love that. I love that so much. And you have such a great group of songs on here. Will these be available?
Oh yes. We'll definitely have some CDs there, and you can also get it on CD Baby, PayPal, and it's actually selling all around the country.
That is fantastic. Are you getting any airplay?
Yes, we've been on light and heavy about
rotation?
60 or 70 radio stations around the country.
Wow.
You know,
Oh, that is wonderful.
they say for a first, we have, this is my second CD, and we didn't push the first one like we should have. And this CD, we decided to push it, and it's really doing well.
That is totally, totally fantastic. Ramona Collins is also on the show, as we mentioned, and Ramona was on my show last summer. She was on before she performed in Kimmy's jazz concert.
Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah, but Ramona performed at the Steinway Music Gallery too,
Yes.
and I love her voice. I've downloaded her music and all. Yeah, I really like her a lot. And so, where do you ever want to start really touring, getting some stuff out there to start touring a little bit?
Yes, that's what we plan on doing with this CD, because this is the first time we've been out there like this, and we plan on doing some touring, and we're looking for a booking agent, and
Oh, wow. Yeah. I don't know how you get those. No, I've been on some tours, but they were speaking tours,
hmm
and it just sometimes you got to put something together yourself.
you do,
You got to contact people who are having festivals, send stuff in,
right?
you know, your video or whatever.
You do.
Send,
You have to be on it.
you have to
really.
be on top of it,
hmm
really, and I'm so glad that you're doing this. Anytime I see somebody doing something like this, it's always inspirational to
hmm
those people out there. I have a lot of people I know who sing and don't get out with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's you know, it took me a minute to get out, and like I say, Ron was an influence.
Did you do another profession?
Oh yes, I was a construction worker,
Wow.
so I would do gigs, after I get off, after I do this construction thing, and it's funny, I love construction also.
Oh, so you can fix up stuff around your house, huh?
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Oh, wow. That's great. I'm looking for a handyman. No, but that is just wonderful. And Jazz in Paradise. It
Yes.
is so nice for your son to do this. And everybody, there's for more information, there's a Facebook page, www.facebook.com. A lot of us have that, but look up Robert.Jamerson75. Robert.Jamerson.75 if you want to know. But take down this address, 30394 Glenmuir Street. That's Farmington. We all have Farmington Hills. We all have not MapQuest. What is
hmm
that thing we have?
Was
Uh,
it a GPS? Or,
GPS. I'm back in the day with
I am
MapQuest.
also.
Uh-huh. But you could bring lawn chairs also,
hmm
and comfortable shoes recommended, and it should be a nice night.
And when as it turns dark, he has lights all in the trees, has running water around his property, and
Wow.
the atmosphere is just beautiful. People sit up under the tent, and he has a fire pit that he goes on later on at night. There's a fire pit; they can sit around that to see it, and
Wow.
you can walk around the property, and they people just come back for the atmosphere. They love it. They love it.
This is so nice. This is really, really nice. I like to see that. It seems like a full evening too.
Right, it is. And
And
also, if you have problems walking and stuff, they have golf cart, and the golf cart pick you up from your car and take you down to the basketball court.
so how does that happen? Do you get out your car and say, golf cart?
No, they're
Oh,
up and
wow.
down the
This is
road. So when you
really,
go,
I know he had to get a permit for this.
oh yes, and
Yes.
when you have, we have people to direct you to where you can park, and the neighbors allow us to park in their driveways. And,
Yeah, they get free tickets. I know. I
hmm
know they do. I know they do. This is just simply, simply fabulous. And for jazz lovers everywhere, jazz lovers everywhere. And like I say, more information at facebook.com/Robert.Jamerson.75. There's not a number if anybody wants to call and get some information.
Yes, you
You
can call 313 530 and
repeat that number one more time.
313 530 6768. 38.
Oh, let's do it one more time.
313 530 6768.
That's
That's
great.
wrong again?
Yeah. That was wrong again?
Yeah.
Wipe out everything we ever told you. Okay, Robert.
313 530 6738.
You know, I think these days it's more difficult for people to remember numbers because they
Cell
just
phone.
the cell phones. But it's funny, my 90 almost 98-year-old mother, she does the numbers because well, she has a cell phone, but she does okay. Like she'll say, my brother's number is four zero
Wow.
four. You know, she just does the whole number out. She always does. She just dials cold.
But you now with the cell phones, I have to look up Robert. It's
The
no
name.
numbers again.
The
No numbers.
name. I know the name. And I'm going to ask you this question since I may be talking a little bit about this um, in the next couple of weeks. Because next Sunday is the 50th anniversary of the Detroit riot.
Okay.
Where were you when that happened?
Uh, Actually, when the riots started, I was living on Wisconsin, and I used to with the dramatics. I had a friend of mine. One of the fellows in the dramatics was Rod, and this friend John. He's a judge now in Florida. That was his cousin. John used to take them around to
Right.
dramatics when they were young, and he used to take them to Chicago sometime, or he would take them to just sing before other groups. And I got to know uh, Ron and Squirrel and all of those guys, and I was shocked when they were in the hotel and what took place. It was like a shocking thing, and it was a hurting thing because I knew all of them were great kids.
Oh yeah, you know,
You know,
yeah, of
they
course.
were great guys. So it was just tragic.
Very tragic, very, very tragic. And the movie will be out in a couple of weeks that explores that incident.
Yes, it was terrible.
It was terrible. It was a terrible incident at the hotel, but it was so good that Ron Banks' mother
Really,
got him out.
really.
Yeah.
When I was in Ron's play, Bill Banks, Ron's brother, was one of the guys in the play with us.
What play was that?
Caesar's Reasons, and
Oh, Ron Milner.
yes,
Ron Milner. Yeah.
and Bill was instrumental in helping with the acting because he was like a veteran
Uh huh.
guy.
Right, right, right. Well, that's how I met. No, I initially met Ron Milner when I was in college because
Okay.
he was doing some things. He, Sylvia King, and these other people, and Dr. Perkins introduced me to them.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. Dr. Perkins introduced me. He knew I was in theater, so
Mhm.
he
Mhm.
introduced me to them. So once again, let's review this for everybody. Jazz in Paradise this Saturday at 30394 Glenmuir Street, Farmington Hills, Michigan, 48334. And it's between 13 and 14
13
miles.
and 14 Mile Road.
And it's 6 to 10.
Mhm.
Advance tickets, 25. How would they get advance tickets?
They can contact Rob, the phone number we gave from me, and we'll find a way to get the tickets to them. That's all they have to do
This
is
is
call us.
a nice date night, too. That's a nice date night
Hmm.
for people who have dates. Anyway, It's beverages provided. Uncle B's barbecue. He sells more than barbecue though,
Hmm.
and then entertainment. Besides Robert, right here we have Ramona Collins, and then a plethora of wonderful jazz musicians, of jazz artists. It's going to be a wonderful evening. Very wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And his
You're
out,
welcome.
if we could get this CD baby.
Yes, you can get it through CD Baby, and also if you come to the concert, we'll have some available.
Right, right, absolutely. So, um, my song. This is really a good. Where did you record this?
At the Temper Mill, and we did it with Kamal Kenyatta. He was the
Right,
producer, and who produces also Gregory Porter, if you've
right.
heard of
Great.
Gregory Porter.
Of course, of course. This is great. But Kamal's been on the show. You never know who's been on my show. Never know. I just find people.
That's
So
great.
thank you so much, Robert. And we'll be back in just a moment. I have some news I want to talk over with you. So be back in just a
I've
moment.
grown accustomed to her face. She almost makes the day begin. I've grown accustomed to the tune she whistles night and noon. Her smiles, her frowns, her ups, her downs are second nature to me now. Like breathing out and breathing in. I was serenely independent and content before we met. Surely I could always be that way again, and yet I've grown accustomed to her looks, accustomed to her voice, accustomed to her face. I have often walked down this street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. All at once am I several stories high, knowing I'm on the street where you live. Are there lilac trees in the heart of town? Can you hear a lark in any other part of town? Does enchantment pour out of every door? No, it's just on the street where you live. And oh, the towering feeling, just to know somehow you are near. Oh, that overpowering feeling that any second you may suddenly appear. People stop and stare, they don't bother me, 'cause there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. Let the time go by, I won't care if I can be here on the street where you live.
I am back. I am back. I am back. I saw some really interesting articles this weekend, and one of them was the fact that Tyler Perry will be, he's on the OWN network, Oprah Winfrey's network. Well, he's signed with Viacom, so he's going to be taking a lot of well, I guess probably all of it over to another company. I guess he was offered quite a bit of money, so he's leaving. And he has several shows. I think the Have and Have Nots, and I don't watch. The only thing I watch on there is Greenleaf, and that's what I watch. I like that, and but he'll be taking his stuff. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? But I read an interesting column by Bankaley Thompson, and a lot of you might have read this, but if you feel anything about it, let me know. And it's talking about Virgil Smith Jr. and the fact that he is running for city council. And it says he banks on name recognition outweighing the issues that he has. And I want to read some of this to you. Even with a plea deal from the Wayne County Prosecutor's office in pocket that saved him from going to prison for up to 10 years and clearly stated that he could not hold public office while on probation, former state senator Virgil Smith is seeking the District 2 seat on the Detroit City Council in the upcoming election. Think about it. Instead of facing charges of felonious assault, felony firearms, and domestic violence in a May 2015 incident involving his ex-wife, prosecutors agreed to give Smith only 10 months in the Wayne County Jail and 5 years of probation in a plea agreement. In the incident, Smith, 37, was accused of firing shots at his ex's Mercedes Benz. Thankfully, nobody was hurt real bad. Anyway, it says if a regular person without a prominent name had been involved in a similar incident, it is likely that that individual would have been prosecuted to the full letter of the law and dragged off for a long prison term. That is true. That is true. But Smith got a nice deal. He comes from a well-known family. His father is Wayne County judge. And the question is now whether Smith is abusing the privilege that allowed him to escape prison by running for public office. Is this an act of political entitlement or arrogance? Now, isn't that funny? Name recognition. I think that's why we have President Trump in. But I've met this young man before all these problems, and he was a nice young man. But I was surprised to hear that he was going to be running for city council. And yeah, that there are other people running. I think this is George Cushionberry's seat, and also somebody else is running too. He went to college with me. Um, I'll find it in just a second, just a second. But I know George Cushionberry holds that seat right now. And anyway, the question that itself questions why Smith would be running if his plea deal would prevent him from being seated on the city council should he win. And then there's an explanation. If he were elected and sworn into office, that would violate his plea agreement. But prosecutors could be compelled to withdraw their plea deal with Smith. The Michigan Court of Appeals determined that the issue of Smith holding office was moot in part because Smith had already vacated his Senate seat. The issue is now headed for the Michigan Supreme Court, where prosecutors want to prove that their deal has legal standing. In the event that he should win the primary election, which is August 8th, less than a month away, we would move the court for immediate consideration and try and expedite consideration of the application and ask for a decision prior to the date the ballots are printed. His lawyer could not be reached for comments. Ahead of the legal rambling that could unfold in court, the resulting public drama if the lawyer were to take the issue head on with prosecutors, voters should be asking this: is Smith's dogged pursuit of another public office in the public interest? Is it an opportunity for employment? Is he out to prove that some voters may easily forgiven and non-judgmental? Also, besides George Cushionberry running for this office, Roy McAllister, who's a very nice gentleman, he's running for the office too. If anybody has any thoughts on that, on the election is coming up so quickly. I think it's in about 3 weeks. Yeah, in about a little over 3 weeks. Today is the 7th, 17th. So, yeah, about 3 weeks away. And we have some very contentious battles. We have Deetta Wilcoxon running for city clerk. We have Hester Wheeler running for city clerk. We have Garland Gilchrist running for city clerk. I think those are the most widely known candidates who are running for city clerk right now. So, you never know. You never know. So, also, a bit of news for everybody. OJ is getting ready to get out of jail. He could be paroled this week. I heard his behavior has been good. What do you think about that? A lot of people don't think OJ ever committed the original crime he was charged with, which was murder. So, he was charged with murder, and I was explaining this or talking about this on Table Talk the other day, that here somebody can be charged with murder, get off, and then they can still be sued. I still don't quite understand how that works. But a lot of people built their careers on O.J. Simpson, really. But he's been behind bars in Nevada for almost 9 years, and he's been behind bars because he went to retrieve some of his stuff that he said was stolen from him. Like his trophies and all of that. And it was such a dumb thing to do. It was such a dumb thing to do, to go up there like a gangster. Really crazy. But yes, O.J. Simpson will be getting out of jail. And I think he should be really low key when he gets out of jail. I really think so. And then I have another good article that, oh, there was a great article. If you didn't read it yesterday in the Free Press, try to read it. And it's about the 1966 boycott Northern High School. The students walked out of the high school because of racism. And that was really, I mean, it was a great article. And it's too much. I don't want to read it to you, but the 50th anniversary of that walkout was last year, because it was in 1966 when they did it. And there were a lot of things brewing here that a lot of people didn't know about or didn't understand. Now, the African American Museum has a lot of things happening. And there's an exhibit that opens on the day, the anniversary of the riot, which is next Sunday, July 23rd. It opens at 10 a.m. But I want to go through some of the things that they are having, because you might be interested in going to these events. Say It Loud. That's the exhibition. But there's so many great events that are happening. They just had this past weekend White Panther Party, a historic reunion. And then they have tomorrow, Stress, Detroit Police Murderers. With the moderator is Rochelle Riley, the columnist. And then on the panel is our own Joanne Watson, Jean Cunningham, Sheila Cockrell and Herb Boyd. Herb Boyd wrote the book Black Detroit. I had a copy of that here last week. So this should be really, really a good meeting. It's tomorrow, probably in the auditorium at 6 p.m. So tomorrow, Tuesday the 18th at 6 p.m., stress. And if you were around those days, we knew about stress. Now, this Saturday, I really wish I could have gotten in this, but I had another obligation. The Secret Society of Twisted Storytellers, they have their theme this week is 1967, and it's $20 to get in, and people are going to be telling their riot stories. And so many people have riot stories who were right there, right there. And then the 1967 Detroit Rebellion. That's next Saturday. Voices of the community. The moderator is Jamon Jordan. You know, Jamon Jordan is a historian. He's been on this show a couple of times, and he's also my former student. And then on the panel, we have Reverend Daniel Aldridge, who I'm trying to get on the show next week, Monday. I think he'll be on this show next Monday. Dr. Carl Gregory, Dr. Danielle McGuire, and of course, Marsha Music Philpott. She will be there. Her father owned Battle Music, Joe Battle's record store. He had a record shop that was destroyed during the riot. And then City, Resistance, Resilience, and Renaissance. There's going to be a film, Whose Streets? The speaker is Saba Folayan, and it's about the Ferguson Rebellion after the police murder of Michael Brown. And that's at 6 p.m. So next Saturday, they have the Voices of the Community, that panel, and that's at 2 p.m. And then they have at 6 p.m., they have the film about the resistance. Now, on Sunday, I mean, something's going on every day. This is just a great lineup. Through the Fire, the 1967 Detroit Rebellion bus tour by Jamon Jordan. And it's going to depart. It's going to depart the museum at 9:30 in the morning and come back at 12:30, and it's only $10. So I guess they'll be going through different parts of the city that were highly affected by the riot. There are a lot of places that were affected, but not some places, of course, were more highly affected than others. And especially on the west side. I know things happened on the east side, but the west side was almost devastated. Now, on Sunday, also at 2 o'clock, this is at the museum. This is great. At 2 o'clock, they have Revolutionaries, Revolution, and Counter Revolution. The speaker is Dr. Gerald Horn, Chair of History and African American Studies at the University of Houston. He will be here at 2 p.m., and that is absolutely free. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Now, Marion Hayden, the bassist, great talent, and the Middle Passage Exiles. It's going to be that Sunday, 6 o'clock on Sunday. Yeah, we have the 2 p.m., the Revolutionaries, Revolution, and Counter-Revolution, and that's at 2. And then Marion Hayden, Rebellion, Jazz and the Roots of Hip Hop. This is going to be really interesting. An 8-piece band concert with poetry by Dr. Melba Joyce Boyd. And that's going to be at 6 p.m., and that's going to be free also. Now, on Tuesday, the 25th, the Algiers Motel Teenage Murders by Racist Police. There's going to be a discussion on that. Well, they're going to have speakers, and that's Reverend Daniel Aldrich again, Reverend V. Lonnie Peake, and Dr. Danielle McGuire. That's 6 p.m. free. And we also have next week, Friday, By Ocean by Fire, Samaj in performance. Detroit Independence Freedom Schools and Wright Museum. It's a fundraiser. It's only $10. You can just hang out at the museum all week. And then there's a film screening next Saturday, July 29th at 2 p.m., and that's free. The topic is film screening 1967. The topic is an intergenerational conversation between Naima Stewart and Reverend Dr. Carlisle Stewart III. That should be quite interesting. I'm going to try and get Carlisle Stewart on the show too. Um, Also, the Liberation film series, film Born in the Struggle, accounts of children born in the 60s and 70s revolutionaries. Speaker, filmmaker Dr. Kamasi Hill. And that's July 30th at 2 p.m., and that's free. So that's the exhibit at the museum. And if you want further information, you could call the museum at 313-494-5800, or you can look at the right.org on the internet. This is very, oh, so exciting. Just the knowledge of people and just discussion, because a lot of people, we talked about the riot after it was over, but we really didn't, you know, a lot of us hashed it out, and I told the story every year just about my entire teaching career, because I started teaching, really student teaching, even though I was just a student in college, but in 1969, which was 2 years after the riot. So that was just a great time. I mean, I just wanted to talk about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, join me this Friday for a very, very good Brenda Perryman show. And we have Table Talk once again with the gentleman. And I'm excited about that. And I'd like to thank Sean for doing a great job this morning, and Donovan, my intern, who's here with me. So, we will see you this Friday morning for Table Talk with Brenda Perryman at 9 o'clock.